I'm doing a persuasive speech about whether prostitution should be legalized or not. Prostitution, or the oldest form in the world, has become a serious issue in today's society and affects nearly every part of the world. There is an ongoing debate on whether or not prostitution should be criminalized, decriminalized, or legalized. Criminalization of prostitution approaches the issue from an abolitionist perspective, meaning it would make all aspects of prostitution illegal and punishable by law as an attempt to eliminate prostitution entirely. On the other end of the debate spectrum, some people feel that prostitution should be legalized. Another argument, although it is the least popular of the three, states that prostitution should be decriminalized. The laws regulating prostitution vary significantly across the world. In some states, prostitution is legal, while in others it is illegal. Despite any laws or regulations regarding prostitution, however, the fact remains that it will continue to occur worldwide whether it is legal or not. Due to this apparent fact of prostitution's immortality, the main focus of the debate looks past the moral question of whether it is right or wrong and analyzes the consequences, whether positive or negative, of the legalization of prostitution. One key characteristic of many advocates against prostitution is that they believe that prostitution is the root of human trafficking. This serves as an important reason why these people are so against the legalization of prostitution. They feel that the only way to make progress in stopping human trafficking is by attacking its main proponent, prostitution. In the text of her speech, The Demand, Where Sex Trafficking Begins, Donna M. Hughes gives her anti-prostitution perspective by stating that prostitution is linked to the atrocities of human trafficking. She also states that the demand for prostitution is the main fuel for the human trafficking situation today. She believes that prostitutes are victims of human trafficking and therefore not the ones to blame. Human trafficking is defined by the UN as the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of persons by means of the threat or use of force or other forms of coercion to achieve the consent of a person having control over another person for the purpose of exploitation. Hughes feels that human trafficking is influenced by the demand for more prostitutes. When not enough local women can be recruited for prostitution, leaders of prostitution rings call on human traffickers to recruit women and young girls from other parts of the world. Victims are targeted for their ease of manipulation and coercion into the slave trade. Traffickers tend to seek women and children from areas with great poverty and lack of employment opportunities. People in areas like this are more susceptible to lies and false promises of high-paying jobs overseas. These women are unknowingly subjecting themselves to the life as a human sex slave. Due to this deception, Hughes believes that women and children that are entered into human trafficking are victims and therefore should not be held responsible for their involvement in human trafficking. This belief plays a key role in the argument against the legalization of prostitution. Hughes points out that the link between prostitution and human trafficking makes the situation of legalization far more complex than the common view of prostitution in a purely local sense as opposed to a global perspective. Hughes argues that simple benefits cannot be achieved by legalization because of the basic nature of prostitution. Since prostitution is not only run by criminals, but also involves the exploitation of trafficked women as sexual slaves, benefits of legalizing prostitution would be far more difficult to obtain than many believe. Hughes uses research and data of legalized prostitution in Germany and the Netherlands to prove her conclusion that prostitution itself prevents benefits from being achieved easily. I feel Hughes does not look at this issue from a global perspective, but she also challenges opposing views directly by providing research. In Hughes' speech, she acknowledges the claim of potential revenue for the government and counters with statistics and research that prove this claim to be incorrect. She points out how when Germany legalized prostitution in 2002, many people expected the government to make millions of euros in tax revenue. As it turns out, however, the government has lost hundreds of millions of euros in unpaid tax revenue from the sex industry. Hughes also challenges that legalized prostitution would give prostitutes access to various health benefits by again using Germany to disprove the prediction regarding the better health of prostitutes. Germany attempted to provide health insurance and retirement benefits to women of servitude. However, only a small amount of people have signed up to receive these benefits. This relates directly to the link between prostitution and human trafficking. Because most prostitutes are slaves brought to an area legally, they cannot possibly risk being arrested by attempting to receive health benefits. I am against the legalization of slavery because I believe that prostitution and human trafficking are both morally wrong and a violation of human rights. I feel that no matter what potential benefit exists, nothing could outweigh the wrongdoings of sexual slavery and prostitution. I feel that all human life should be valued and that no person should be exploited and dehumanized down to an object of possession for the simple sexual gratification of a man. I could not ignore my views of valuing human life high above any benefit that could possibly spawn from the legalization of prostitution. For this reason alone, along with evidence shown in Hughes' article, I strongly believe that prostitution should be kept entirely criminalized in an attempt to end the injustice completely.